For over 60 years, the Women's Home has been building communities that strengthen women and support families as they reclaim their stability. Our WholeLife model of care is woven into the fabric of all our services and includes programming that addresses 6 key elements: emotional, physical, social, vocational, fiscal, and spiritual wellness. We deliver whole life services through long-term residential treatment, permanent supportive housing, and our signature Whole Life Service Center.
We know that substance use leads to poverty, which then spurs on more substance use. When a person is sent to a 30-day recovery facility, even if they last the full 30 days, they are likely to relapse. 30 days may be enough for detoxing and the first step on the road to recovery, but that's it. And once they leave that facility with no help provided or support offered for a different way of living, they are drawn back in and return to the only life they knew 31 days ago. Substance use disorder is only one part of a person's life. Long-term stability and recovery require treatment and care of the whole person. Our indigent community members have no way to pay for treatment. Through our Whole Life Model, the Women's Home provides free, long-term holistic recovery services to individuals regardless of their socioeconomic status, race, color, national origin, disability, religion, or sexual orientation.
I ended up on the streets at the age of 14, ran away from home, and spent 29 years riding freight trains and hitchhiking and in and out of prison. I was so scared, and living inside, like, that was huge for me. On my treatment plan, I had to take showers like twice a week, and I had to learn how to use washing machines and stuff. I just got out of CDL school, and I'm driving a concrete truck for Lauren Concrete.
Yeah.
They believe in you when you can't believe in yourself.
The Whole Life Model was developed by the Women's Home as a residential treatment modality for women in recovery. We developed this unique model in response to community need as well as the desires and goals expressed by our clients as they work through our program. We have evolved this model to apply to community-based services, which is a replicable model, mirroring the SAMHSA dimensions of recovery: health, home, purpose, and community. The model supports an intentional community focused on the mental and physical health, stability, and innate potential of all our clients. Our innovation of the Whole Life Model is co-created with our clients to reflect their aspirations and support their recovery goals.
I am an addict alcoholic. I have 8 years sober, a little over 8 years sober, and I am a graduate of the Women's Home. I had been strung out on methamphetamine for the majority of my life since I was about 16 years old. My journey in sobriety began actually at a suicide attempt when I had finally given up on life and overdosed on pills and just wanted to die. Now keep in mind, I come from a good family. I come from a good, loving home, and they've always supported me, but they didn't know how to help me. And they wouldn't let me come home after that suicide attempt. I burned a lot of bridges in my addiction, and nobody wanted to have anything to do with me. When I came to the Women's Home, I remember walking into this beautiful facility, and I just was like, oh my goodness, this is where I get to live? The Women's Home taught me so much. They helped me with my vocational training because I remember thinking, nobody is gonna hire me. Now I manage a staffing agency, and I'm able to help other men and women find jobs. The Women's Home saved my life, and my family can attest to that because I have a relationship with them now.
Equity and dignity are core values of the Women's Home, which is reflected in our admissions process. The Women's Home does not discriminate on the basis of race, country of origin, physical or emotional disability, or ability to pay. Additionally, the Women's Home accepts all individuals who identify as a woman. Self-determination and equity are woven into the treatment planning process, which is client-driven and supported by our staff. Our Whole Life program starts the moment they come through our doors and continues until they have built a stable life for themselves in the community. Clients learn about the Whole Life Model and then design their own treatment plan with the support of our staff so that their own life experiences and aspirations are incorporated into their recovery plan. When planning new programming, we use a strengths-based approach called appreciative inquiry to identify assets in the community and build upon those assets to provide the opportunity for community members to thrive. One of the outcomes of our innovation is continued engagement after clients graduate from our program. They lead peer support groups, become advocates, volunteer, and more. They gladly take up the mantle to help others who are in situations where they themselves have been. Being empowered to lead in this way, to participate and engage in the process that helped shape their own lives, validates and celebrates these community members who have worked so hard to reclaim their lives.
I struggled with drugs for almost 25 years, and I did 14 treatments, and I did not know if the 15th time would be the charm. But when I stepped into the women's home, I felt the love. I felt that was going to be the place where I totally would have the opportunity to recover. But the most important thing that I got from the women's home was the fact that they dealt with the entire person. I learned a new way of living. I didn't know any other way of life but the streets. And the funny thing is, I wasn't from the streets, but it had became my life. My lowest, sleeping under 45 Pierce Elevated, eating out of trash cans, lost my children in this incident, a lot of low moments. And I don't think I could have gotten any lower at that point, and the women's home was there for me to pick me up and show me a new way of life, and I thank God for them.